Go.
Shalom, Israel. With ISUPK, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. This is Par. This is the sun go down today. We'll be afflicting our soul for uh, the Day of Atonement, and that's what the Lord told us to do in Leviticus. And of course, we're just going to go over a few things in Lashawan Qadash for people who, especially for those who are able amongst Israel, blacks, Hispanic, and native Israel, native Indians that are in Israel. We are commanded to afflict our souls on this day, and this is what basically what we're teaching here. We go over a few things in class here, and where you can't have food, of course, and fasting, but that's the thing. The Lord left this day for us um, so that we can understand that we are to come together as a people and inflict our souls. But that's the thing. So if you're at home, I hope you have our in my time zone. It's like I believe 7:02. I think is it.
Yes.
And who we have in the chat? Let me see. We got Officer Charlotte, comma one. Khan is good, good. Comma one, yeah, good. All right, sure. And Char, and then a few other people coming in the chat. Just make sure that you've not you should have prepared yourself to do this understanding as a who else? Oh, let's see who else we got. Okay, yeah, Princess Kayawaf out of Tampa, Florida. And I know we've had a lot of rain down there, of course, hurricanes, and God Most High has spared you. You know, Most High be with our brothers and sisters down here. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, a thumb to all my brothers. Yahweh Shema, Allah Bashem, Yahweh Shai to my sisters, especially down in the Tampa, Sebring, Bradenton, and all those areas. I used to live down there in that counties. As a matter of fact, I know what it is to be in all the hurricanes, right? And but we're going to go over a little bit of Lashawan Qadash class, and then we'll end it, okay? So if you guys can bear with me. Well, today is a Day of Atonement. Uh, we say Day of Atonement in Hebrew, and that's what the class is about. And we'll read that unless we had somebody that wanted to be joined in class there to read. But if it's not, it's okay. I'll read it. Uh, let's say Leviticus. Let's go to Leviticus, the Day of Atonement, verse 26. Leviticus 26 chapter. 23rd chapter, Salakia, 23rd chapter, verse 26. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, now this is the Most High of all creation, telling you, and he's commanding you to come together as an assembly, come together as a, what is this, Makwara? And he's asking you, I'm not going to give you guys a whole lot of laborious work because, Most High don't want us to, when you afflict your souls, Most High really said basically take off from labor and relax yourself because you're going to need that to go through with no water, no food. Those who that are able, of course, for pregnant women and for older senior citizens that cannot do that, and people that are on medications, the Most High understands that that's a directive handed down from the men above. So don't go and try to if you can't, stand down. Make sure you have gotten with your captain that if you cannot do this for there are people on diabetics, all kind of people, but make sure you've gotten through for understanding of who you are, so you'll know that you'd be able to do this. Not, yeah, gotcha. Um, anyway, let's go back. The Day of Atonement. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there should be a Day of Atonement. And that's where we're in right now. Day of Atonement. Now, that day, that's going to be called, like a lot of people, like, let's see, that word is shawl. That'll I think it's like this. Day of. Yeah, of is shawl. And you can put preposition in there, but I choose to just use the whole of. So it's Yawam right here. This is where we are. And so we'll have a, like I said, we'll have a brief service here, a brief moment to understand the Lashawan Qadash. Yawam is day. Yawam. So write that down. Make sure y'all write that down. I know people was understanding Hebrew. You know, we got some Hebrew scholars out there. Yawam. But that's what that means. Y'all with me so far? Yawam. Can they read this? Yeah, they can see that. So we'll write this word here. This is Yawam. And this is course of. Or Yawam is you should be able to spell it out, but in Hebrew, if you're here, if you can't, just make sure you write this Hebrew down. That way you can understand what I just said. And this is an Assyrian Hebrew that I'm using anyway. Day of Atonement, Yawam, Shal, and this Kapar. Some people use Kapar. Now the old fake Jews, they'll try to say Yom Kippur, but there's no U in our language, so it's Kapar. Okay, but that word kapah means to atone for. It means atone. And now a lot of people say, well, what's atonement? Well, let's tell you, you know, what does that mean? And a lot of people say, you know, this what is atonement? You know, we'll get to that. We'll show you when the Most High tell us to do these feast days. You know, he let us know that we have to do in this particular feast days. We're atoning for ourselves because all this up until this time we had we let the animals be our sacrifices and our atonements, you know. But now he's telling you to afflict your souls. He's telling you to do that. So let's go and find out. Let's see where we at. Atonement, like kapah. And of course, we have words like Aina and Napash, and we'll get into that. Let's see. Okay, where was I at? Atonement. Let's get into some of these words up in here, and let's find out what kapah means. It's and loosely translated, it just means to atone, to atone, or something has to be sacrificed and put in the place of as an atonement. You know, that's who else. Somebody else is in the chat right there. Crystal. Crystal. Good. Is that Crystal? Okay. Good. Good. We have Crystal in the chat. Okay. Who else? That we have? And the Day of Atonement, it shall be a holy convocation. Now, the word like holy convocation is like, let's skip down to this right here. That Day of Atonement, or instead of using the, let's see, before we skip down, instead of using like animals like lambs, pigeons, rams, bulls, bullocks, the Most High would we would use sometime doves, what people couldn't really afford. But that's what this is talking about. The Most High is telling you to afflict you. Anybody know what does it mean? How you going to afflict yourself? What does that mean? What does it mean to go and afflict you? Like Ana is that word. Now I'll put that word up here in a second. That word is Ana. Matter of fact, I'll put it up here right now. Ana. That word is Aina. It's like I, and it's, let's see, I think it's like Aina. And I'll put it in Assyrian here. That word right there means to afflict. What does it mean to afflict? Anybody in the audience there? Afflict. That's what that word means. Aina in Hebrew. What does that mean to afflict something? Instead of afflicting the animal, Most High wants you to afflict you. Is that good with y'all? It's like for a second. That's what that word means. It means the Most High wants you to do something. So I've given you the clue already. So what does it mean when the Lord, instead of you going around afflicting the animal and cutting the lamb's throat or the pigeon or cutting on the dove or slaying the bullock, when the Most High tells you to afflict you? Let's finish reading. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls. What does that mean? Somebody put it in the audience, and somebody in the chat put in the audience chat there that we have, communication chat. Tell me what it means to afflict your soul, to afflict you. So it's saying, I think it's napash, I believe. We use that word. We'll say, then we'll say, na. Posh. Anybody in the chat over there put anything?
No.
Okay. We ain't gonna be here that long, but what I will tell you, can they see this right here?
Yes.
Okay. The word soul, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody? What does it mean when it says afflict your soul? We'll give you a few more seconds here. Everybody, speak up, same time. But that word is aina, afflict, soul, napash. That's what the Most High wants us to do. Instead of taking a ram or a bull, but that's what the Levites are telling you. That's through Moses. That's what his name is. Moses. He was the head of God's people back then. But he said to afflict your souls on this day of atonement, on this Yawam Shal Kapah. And some people try, like I said, the fake Jews try to call it Yom Kippur, but it's not a P-U-R, because there's no U in our language. But when he says afflict your souls, he simply means to fast. And so when that sun go down in your Eastern Standard Time or your Central Time or your Mountain Time or your, what's that last time, the West Coast Time, I don't know that one right there, but all the way from all the way from the ocean all the way to here, those time zones, you observe that when that Bible says to afflict your soul, and basically you'll do it for a whole day. So let's finish reading here. Let's go over that, okay? And then it says, and ye shall do no work in that same day. That day is Yawam, so it's saying, and this day Yawam here, 24-hour period. That makes sense? Because that's what Yawam is. I'm selling, that's what it is. And of course, using some ancient Hebrew, and I'm using some Assyrian Hebrew. Here in Hebrew, we write from right to left. And when we use words, we always write, it looks backwards to us because we've been studying so much in the language of these oppressors, you know. But anyway, the Day of Atonement, the Lord says, afflict your souls. That's Ainah, afflict, and soul, Napash. Y'all write that down in your notes if you got that right. But that's what he says. Let's see, verse 28. And ye shall do no service in that same day, for it is a day of atonement. A day of atonement. That's a day for us to atone for all of our sins, right? Atonement for what? To make a day, this slot, let's read it again. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement. To make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. For you. This is atonement for you before the Lord thy God. In other words, he's asking you. Normally we would take take a lamb and let him afflict, let that affliction of that lamb be there for the atonement for you, to be the sacrifice for you. That's what it's saying. Namely, normally and namely, it would be some sort of animal sacrifice. But the Most High saying, oh, you say, oh, it's come our day now. See, nobody wants to claim this day right here when we got to afflict our souls, but the children of Israel. Here in the ISUPK, under command of General Yohana, we're taught, of course, through the Bible, through Leviticus. We follow all of the commands of the Lord. And one of those days is the Day of Atonement. We went through a day just a while back. I think it was a Feast of blowing of trumpets. But now we're in that Day of Atonement where 24 hours. Of course, tomorrow we'll have a Sabbath day. But that's what this day is. So we're learning in Lashawan Qadash, which means holy tongue. We're learning what the Day of Atonement is. So just remember, you can have no water, no food, or afflict your soul for 24 hours. And that, like I said again, that day is a Day of Atonement. In Hebrew, we spell that Yawam Shal Tapah, or to say Day of Atonement. Those are three words here. I didn't kind of like put them together in a sentence form. Day of Atonement, right? Anybody else down there on that as it goes down there? Good. But that's what it is. So, so we get to another word here, and we get some more words here. We'll read a few words, and then we'll end the class so you guys can go home and enjoy your wonderful day that the Most High has given you. Why? Because the Lord, it says this. Let's read verse 29. Because you'll get an idea of why we had this day. Because the Most High wanted all of us to work together. Afflict your soul, and you'll learn how to fast throughout the year if you need that. But this is a day where all of Israel went together. Was there severe punishment? Yeah, you know there was somebody around the corner that had them a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know there was. You know there was somebody around the corner that had a piece of turkey or a chicken leg around the corner trying to cheat the Lord out of this beautiful day the Most High gave us. Like I said, you Wam Shal Kapah. But this is don't do that. The Most High wants to afflict your soul. No water, no food for 24 hours. Unless you are, that goes for everybody. Unless you got pregnant women, no children. They can't do this. Pregnant women, children can't do this. Men and women that are, I'm not going to say what age, but whatever age they are, if they're on medication, they definitely can't do that. They have to, they go, do the best they can. They have to drink water with their medications. If you do, then you're excused from that. That's understood. So if you have any questions, just make sure you put it in the chat. But it's self-explanatory, right? Like I said. So where are we at? Let's finish reading here. Verse 29, for whatsoever soul, for whatsoever napash, that's that word, right? For whatsoever soul shall not be afflicted, or aina, that la'a, aina, no affliction. If you don't do that, that's what they're trying. The Most High is going to tell you your judgment, right? He shall be cut off from among his Im. People is Im. You're going to be cut off from your people. You don't want that, do you? But that's what the Most High is saying right here in verse 29. Back then, we had strict laws and guidelines to govern us in Israel. You look at this wicked America, they don't have anything. These people around here, matter of fact, like I think we said, had Donald Trump coming there for some holy day he had in Israel with his little yarmulke on, his little brim on, whatever he had on. And I think what the general say, he still got the pig on his breath. Those people don't know how to keep. They go around talking about Yom Kippur. You see what I'm saying? They go around to the real Day of Atonement is with real righteous men of the Most High. Okay, that soul shall be cut off. What the Most High said. Verse 30. Let's do verse 30. Okay. Verse 30 says, and whatsoever soul, that means whatever soul, whatever napash. The Lord wasn't playing around. Anybody else came up in the chat? Whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work. Now, this is what to say. The Most High is trying to give you a rest here in the same day, in that same day. What day? The Day of Atonement. trying to give you a day of rest, because it'll be kind of hard to go to work and punch out 8 hours and try to go out there and say, man, looking at it, you can't, everybody else eating the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, most I say you need to be off if you can do that. No one's telling you to go skip and break your job now. I mean, you have to go to work. I understand that. But don't come up here and say I lost my job because Dr. Park told me to stay home. I ain't saying that. I am saying no water, no food if you are able to do that. As Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohana teaches you to use the Bible, but most of all to use common sense. Okay? Yeah, that all makes sense. And like I said, I reiterate again. I got to reiterate this though. No pregnant women. Don't go over there try to fast. Don't be trying to flick yourself. No children. Don't make them children try to fast, man. Don't do that, man or woman. Don't be sitting up there trying to do that. Or who else? People. Huh? People sick. That's right. People got medication. They got an illness or whatever. You go ahead and you can pray for everybody else. And my hat's off for sister, I think it was Kawawaf, who was down in Tampa, Florida. They went through, went through that big hurricane down there. It was at down category 3, just about went across the land down there. Like I said, getting off the subject real quick here. Like I said, I lived down there. Those are some bad times you had down through there, and the Most High pulled you through to talk about it. So let's clap it up for that sister right there, man. Let's clap it up for that sister. How Shema Thaba Hashem Yahweh sis, and Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai rock a thumb to all my brothers who have gone through that, because I know we got some brothers down there that have took care of business while they were down there, and I'm glad the Most High took the time, to bring you to class, sis. All right. So, verse 30. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, that same soul will I destroy from among his people. What does it just say? It says this. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. In other words, the Lord's trying to give you a prescription how to fast and how to relax doing it. If anybody ever fasted before, it ain't a good thing to be straining yourself and sweating and you need water. The Most High wants you to relax. But that's what it said. If it's just all possible, that's what it's trying to say. But that's what the Day of Atonement means. That's what it's trying to say. We have words like, what do we have? Napash, that's soul. And Anya, that's to afflict your soul. That's what this word means. I may have that backwards. I don't know. Who else we got in the chat down there?
Crystal just was clapping it up for the
Yeah. Hey, yeah. All right, Crystal. That's exactly right. So we have Napash is I think it's soul, I believe. That's what it is. We have this word is soul. And we have soul, and then we have anya is to afflict. We had that over there, didn't we? Afflict. There it is, right there. Afflict and then soul. Okay, right.
Which one is soul?
Soul is here. I got it. I should have had afflict over here and soul over here, but maybe I should rewrite it, huh? Hebrew, you have written from right to left. Let me rewrite it. Let me rewrite it right so you guys won't be mad at me, okay? Let me do it. Hebrew is right to left, so Lakia. So we're going to have this word, Aina. I will have it written in ancient Hebrew this time, of course. Na. Everybody by now, and if you don't, we'll go over another lesson where we learn these characters. But by now you should be learning your Hebrew. So through your characters. So Let's get here and let's do this again. I na, and then we'll have soul, of course. In this case, it's napash, right? So that's a na, and then we have a pa, and then we have a sha. Okay, just like that. There it is. How is that better now? I na napash. Afflict the soul. Your soul. I can't say napash your soul. I think it's let's make that definition more hold a minute. Let's put a Shalakia. Let's put a possessive adjective on there when we say your. How about that? How about if I say come or your or our soul? How about if I say our soul? Napash nawa. Because you can have men and women. How about that? That makes sense? So let's just put nawa on the end. That includes everybody. That makes sense? So we're going to say na, and then we're going to say wa. That makes sense? We'll make that one sound because that's pretty much what it is. And nawa, what does nawa means? Our, okay? So when we say I na afflict our souls, our souls. How about that? Can I say it that way? Okay. So we'll say this is nawa or our. Can they read that down there? Looks like it. And then I got napash right here. Is that what that is? Napash? There. There we go. Napash. Okay. But that word, napash, means what? Soul. Okay. Y'all got that now? Got too cramped up there. We'll make it better then. Our. And that word for our is nawa. And there it is in Hebrew. That makes sense? We good? All right. And of course, let me get your warm out of there. It's just kind of clouding things right there. How about that? That better? Because your warm need to go up here. How about that? Your warm means day. That makes sense? Are we good there? All right. Okay. But that's what that is. Now, what about this word down here? And this word right here, Qadash. What does Qadash mean? What does Qadash Makra'ah mean? Or you can also say Qadash Kawal. Qadash Qahal. I could use that word. I could say Qadash Makra'ah. Anybody know what this word means right here? Because it goes along with everything we're doing. The Day of Atonement, Yawam, Shal, Kapa. And then we're saying Aina to afflict what? Your souls. Our souls. In this case, Nawa, our. So I put Napash Nawa there. That makes sense? Well, what about this word down here? Anybody? Anybody in chat? Got a stab? I mean, we'll put it this way. Let's just go ahead and put down what it is, because we know what this means. Holy. Holy assembly or convocation. Convocation. or you can say assembly. Assembly. It's, people come together, right? That's what that means. Okay. So we good, right? Qadash. That makes good sense. And Makorah. There's another word you can use called Quawal. Quahal, I'm sorry. That's a Q-A, ha, and then a la. You can use that also for assembly and convocation, because that's all a convocation is, just assembly together. Moses was just calling the people together, let them know, man, that the Day of Atonement is what I want you to do. But the Most High, when he gave us oblations for lambs and sacrifices for our sins, he also gave us a time where we can afflict our own souls, man. This is important to understand. It's actually an introduction to fasting, really. Unless somebody correct me there. I don't, you know. This may be somebody's first day of doing it, but this is how you do it. You should have drank all the water you needed beforehand. That sun has gone down, unless you are in where places like Central Time, you still got another hour or something like that, or you in places like Colorado where you've got another 2 hours, or you're places like LA, right? Hollywood Squares out there. The movie or whatever, they got another 3 hours, right? But as for us, and this joint over here, it went down 7:02. But that's the point. You afflict your souls. We're not gonna hold you much longer because we know this is a day of atonement. I understand that it's a day that's opening up, and I'm just trying to give, and it gives a South Carolina here, also Kazakh Par of 1,000 here, giving you an understanding of what the Day of Atonement actually means and what it falls under and what the Lord allowed us to do and wanted us to do. Well, let's finish reading here. Let's see, where we at? Let's see. What? We got somebody in the chat over there?
Mhm.
Okay. We'll go on and finish reading here, and then we'll do a few more words, and then we'll end the class, okay? And let's read that again. And whatsoever soul it shall be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among my people. He's got to destroy you because you're not obedient. You're not doing what he says. You can't be around the corner cheating on something like this. This is not a day to do that. And then it says this: you shall do no manner of work, it shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and all your dwellings, right? It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls, and the 9th day of the month, even unto shall ye celebrate your Sabbaths. Okay. So the Lord, that's another, getting into another day here, but basically, this is the Day of Atonement. Like I said, it falls on the 10th day of the 7th month. I think if we have that, does everyone have that? And I'll write that down. Everybody has this right here, understanding? I guess. So let's erase some of this here. I think people kind of understand this, right? That makes sense?
Yes.
Let's write one more thing here on the board. Okay. Before we actually, because we know it's a hard enough thing to afflict your soul on this day, starting of it anyway. Let's go to let's do a little bit of understanding in the Hebrew on the numbers that we'll understand, because he said it was the 10th day, day 10, 10th day, When did the Day of Atonement occur? The 10th day of the 7th month, right? Of the 7th month. Didn't it say that? We'll look it up and make sure. Let's look that up. Let's make sure it's the 10th day of the 7th month. Let's just look that up. Let's make sure that's the case. Also on the 10th day of this month, the 10th day of this month, 7th month, of this 7th month, Salakia, Leviticus 23 and 27. Also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there should be a Day of Atonement. So it's the 10th day of this 7th month. So let's write this out in Hebrew. How do you write 10? Everybody remember? Remember this right here? Right? Anybody remember what I said? How do you write day? You remember? That's 10, Asherah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you write day? What's the word for day?
Asher.
Huh? 10. 10 is Asherah, right?
Right.
What's day? What word did I put up there for day? Yawam. Clap it up for that sister right there. Clap it up, sis. Clap it up for class. That's for you, your answer, okay? Good. Yawam. Okay? We'll write that out in Hebrew in a second here. Okay, anybody out there in the audience, what is the word for 7th? Anybody? What's the word for 7 in Hebrew? Because that's what this is saying. Asherah Yawam so far. Right? We're not going to get fancy and say 7th because there is a different word for 7 and then 7th. But we're just, somebody got it written over there. Who we got?
Crystal said Shabbat.
Shabbat? Clap it up for them. Crystal say Shabbat. You agree with that? Huh?
Yes.
All right. So we say Shabbat. Okay. And really it's Shabbayah. But we'll leave that alone because that's the more technical word for 7th. But we're just saying 7. Okay. Well, now I can understand that for 7 month, 7th or 7 or 2 different words, but hey, we'll use that. What about month? I'll give you that word. We're going to say this right here because I did do it in another class, but you probably may have forgotten it. But how about this word right here? Qadash. How about that word? How about that? That'll work?
Yes.
So the Lord said on the Day of Atonement, he's trying to tell you what he wants done. Okay? He's saying Yawam Shal Atonement is to occur on the 10th. That's how we know. These fake camps out here, they wouldn't know 10 from 7. They'll say, what's 10 from 7? -3. What's the 10th day of the 7th month? They don't know. You see, that's how they don't know. But we know under Commander Johnny Han and ISUPK, all right, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We understand that the 10th day, 7th month is Asherah Yawam, Shabbai Qadash, and its rudimentary of root words, without getting into all of the prepositions and all of the other words. We'll leave that for another class. But for the most part, Asherah is 10, Yawam is day, 7th is Shabbat, and Qadash is month. Okay, that makes sense. Everybody understand that? All right, and the 10th day of 7th month. Okay, and to understand that the Lord didn't tell you guys to do it any other day. You know, he says open up with that. So let's put down this in Hebrew, and then we can be kind of done here. I'm gonna write it down as I see it. I'm not gonna write it from right now. I'm just gonna write it down as I see it in the board, or to get mixed trying to write English backwards, right? Ashura, right? We'll write it down in ancient Hebrew. Then we say Shah. Did I write that right? Aisha. Then we have to write Ra, don't we? How about that? That look right to you? Looks right to me. Hope y'all can see my board. I'm gonna have a better board, hopefully. Most High be willing, you know. That looks.
That's right. Lamaya joined us.
Aisha. Then we're gonna say Yah. That little lazy Z right there with a kickstand on it. Yahweh, right? We'll say, and I'm writing all this in ancient Hebrew this time instead of the Assyrian, because you learn both languages in this class as you go. We like to reiterate, we're at ISUPK, start out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, and we're talking about the Day of Atonement, right? That makes sense? Okay. Yahwam. And then, of course, we go like this. Yahwam. Now, if that was ancient Hebrew, there would be an ending character here after this Ma. That's a whole nother thought. Who we got written down there?
That's Princess Labaya.
Princess Labaya. Clap it up for Princess Labaya in there in class right there. I haven't seen her. How Shemala thought about Shin Shah. I think that was the rib of officer, because who was that? Not Zakabar, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's Officer Nakza, Princess Labaya, and we have a lot of girls in class today, a lot of women in class. But anyway, what's this word here? Shabai. So let's just write it out. It'll be a review class for most people. I don't want to get complicated because of what this day is. I don't want to tire you out, or it'll seem like a job, right? Working you. Shabai. How you spell Shabai? So we say Shah, right? This word here. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Shah. There's a Shah, right? And then there's a Ba. We got to get this Ba here. Of course, this is the root. Then we say I. Shah. Ba. Of course, this is the rudiment words up here. I mean, you know, we can get this exactly right when you start talking prepositions and connectors. But I'm just going to write a rudiment of the root word. When I really say rudiment, the root word of it. Ashura, Yawam, Shabai. And what about Qadash, which means month? And you see me do classes on month, so you'll know that that word is Qadash. So you write another word, you have Ka, like this. Then you write Da. Then you write Shah. Qadash. There it is, right there. That it? That's the 10th month. And of course, the Day of Atonement. And like I said, those fake Jews over there call it Yom Kippur. But you know it can't be. Yom we know is which means Yawam. That makes sense? Instead of Kippur, it's Kapah. That's all it is. Kapah. Some people say Kapar, but it's Kapah. Right? And of course, Shawl, the word shawl, or of that day. In Lashawan Qadash class, that's what we're teaching here tonight. Anybody got any questions out there so far? Were we informative? Does everybody understand how long you're supposed to fast? Anybody don't, make sure you type in the chat. Hey man, how long am I supposed to fast up in here? You know? Anybody? Okay. And I'll read this again and then we'll sort of end class a little bit here, okay? All right. The Day of Atonement. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 26, also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. I'm reading verse 27 here. A day of atonement where you can go and afflict your soul. That's what you're saying. A day of fasting is what it's saying, basically. As we have explained for the last hour, it shall be a holy convocation or holy makwarah or holy assembly, right? It's holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls. Go ahead. Yeah, afflict your souls. No water, no food, you know, no mayam, right? That makes sense. And no food, okay? Afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire or ash unto the Lord. That means you to afflict your souls, okay? That makes sense. All right. And let's see. Verse 28, and ye shall do no work in the same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord God. That's what it's about, right? To make a day of atonement, okay? That day of atonement is for you to afflict your souls, to atone for all of the disgusting sins that you've done, for all of the for you to afflict your souls, for all of the things that you've done. If you say, oh, I didn't do nothing, the Bible says, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. If you want to see it that way, if you really want to see it that way, the Bible's giving you an atonement to sin for you. No longer an animal over here to sacrifice. Well, so we don't do that anymore anyway. Those are gone. But the Most High kept this right here because it's a day of fasting, and know that you would need that to learn how to fast and atone. Okay, because the Most High, if it wasn't for Christ, really is the great high priest, and great atonement, and for us, the great high priest actually really atoned for us. He died for us, our despicable character and our despicable nature. When the Most High still say, you go, do no servile work, and do a day of atonement and afflict your souls, do your part, do what you can do. That's what this is saying, right? It makes sense. And ye shall do no work in the same day, for it is a day of atonement. Okay? A day of atonement, the day for you to get it together, for you to fast. That makes sense? To make an atonement for you. For you. Am I making an atonement for you, or you making an atonement for yourself? It says for you. Y'all read along with me. Verse 28, Leviticus 23 and 28. It said, I read that again. And ye shall do no work in that same day. Give yourself time off right there. For it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you. Didn't say for your household, it's saying for you. The only way you can do that is to afflict your soul. That's what this Lord is Most High saying. An explanation, right? An atonement for you before the Lord your God. That makes sense? Abanawa, our God. You know, all of us, your God, all of us, our God, right? And it says, verse 29. Now, if you don't do this, I'm reading this again. If you don't do this, the Bible says, for whatsoever soul it be shall not be afflicted in that same day. He's going to be cut off from among his people. And if you don't keep this as a habit to do that, you're going to find yourself somewhere on the street anyway. You're going to be wondering what happened to you, singing, hey, diddle, diddle. Playing second fiddle somewhere, some fake ISUPK fake trying to be group, and you being one of them IUICs and what GOCCs and who else? I don't know them fakes out there. But the real story, the real understanding of this Bible is the real deal is Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander Juliana. So you might as well go ahead and afflict your souls, man. Okay? And I'm getting ready to get off. I know y'all, I've badgered everybody, including me. afflicting our souls, man. Can't get no water, no food for 24 hours. Remember that, okay? Unless you are pregnant, unless you are sick, unless you are a baby, you got children, babies, what else? Uh, or have medication that you have to take, don't you're excused from that, okay? All right. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, it is taken into account those souls, right? In other words, he shall be cut off from among his people. Anybody you see out there eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches on the side and drinking what kind of water is that? Fiji water is carried on out there. Man, you should have done that a long time ago. But anyway, I'm praying for you. You pray for me, man, because you're gonna need that. You know, it's gonna be a great and glorious time during this fast. This is one I'm looking forward to every hour of it. But that's what this is all about. You shall be cut off from among the people. And the last verse I read here, and whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in the same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. You know, the Most High is just trying to keep you and make this as pleasant as possible and to keep you at home so you can fast, kick back your feet, you know, play those card games or whatever you got to do, or get you, this is time to get you plenty of rest too, right? But like I said, remember those people that are exempt from this, that cannot do that, right? They cannot, that's cannot do that fast, all right? And we're going to, and understand. Any more questions in there?
No questions.
Huh?
No questions in the chat.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right. And you got people in the chat saying they got food waiting till the end. And that's cool. That's good. But yeah, that'll work. But out here in the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hanna, just remember that your children, like the captain said in the chat, don't force your children to fast. Let them eat, man. Be strong as parents, you know. Let those future brothers and sisters in the school, they're going to be future soldiers, you know. Let them grow up and have a chance to live, to go through that fast, and don't force them. Don't force feed those. That's as a reminder. So just understand that that's what this day is about, to present yourself before the Most High, right? So let's see here. Anybody else with any more questions right there?
No.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So let's go. Excuse me. Slocky. Okay. Just remember that the Day of Atonement occurs just once a year, and you guys can go through the motions of going through. You can sit down here and study the class that I wrote tonight. That'll give you some real good time to understand some things. And we're gonna end class, like I said earlier tonight. I'm just trying to wait and see if anybody have any questions. Be sure to come to Sabbath service tomorrow in the ISUPK starting at 10 o'clock, right? That makes sense.
Correct.
And if anybody, let's see, trying to think of anything else we need. Can't think of any, but we're gonna end class, and but just make sure that you understand that that the Day of Atonement is 24 hours, and people don't try to shortcut that. And please, like the captain said, don't try to force feed anybody. That makes sense. And because I know people, um, they may get a little happy, I guess. So let's read some announcements here, right? The security announcement. We are the ISUPK. Start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The rule for the brothers and sisters: when a brother or sister comes to school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandments, Numbers 18, 20, 21, Malachi 3, 8, and 10, which means 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny increase the Most High gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. The priest fund, free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. And we got, like I said, these holy convocations or the holy assemblies that we're having and going on. That's on our holy days here that we've learned what a convocation was, right? Which is an assembly, right? So we'll say, what's be the next one here? I think it's let's see, Day of Atonement. It'll be the Feast of Tabernacles. That'll be the 15th day of the 7th month, the 8 days, Wednesday, 16th, Tuesday, Wednesday the 16th through Tuesday the 24th, October 2024, Leviticus 23, 34, and 44. It will be close to the Feast of Tabernacles. Just remember that the next holy convocation will be the Feast of Tabernacles, right? Let's see, what's the next here? And then okay, Salakia. Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board. If in the hallway, if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, and headband and scarf. And for that, we'll salute out the brothers and sisters. That makes sense. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, let's salute out the brothers. Bob Shabbat. Mab Shabbat. Majim. Barak. Yahweh Shemal Atah B'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shema Abba Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahya Matam. Dismiss. Clap it up for class.